These are the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, and if I had to describe them in one word, I would say insane. They deliver the benefits of the Buds FE without compromising on wireless charging and sound quality, and if you're interested in that review, that'll be in the top corner. But it still begs the question, what makes them so good? Is it the sound quality, the noise cancelling, or just how the Buds 2 Pro are designed? Those are some of the topics I will cover in today's video, and there are also timestamps for you down below so you can skip to a key part in the video. First, let's begin with design. If we bring the Buds FE into the mix, the first thing you may notice is the fact that they have wingtips, which provide a secure and comfortable fit. When it came to the Buds 2 Pro, there was a worry that the Buds 2 Pro wouldn't hold its weight when it came to being secure within the ear. Would they fall out? Would they hurt my ears? Or would I sacrifice battery life to get the latest and greatest, like the Buds Pro? Those being the queries that I had in mind. If you have small ears like me, then all I can say is Samsung did it.
Oh, hey there! So if you're enjoying this video, a subscription to the channel would be much appreciated. Now give me a big fat kiss.
They comfortably fit in my ear, decreasing the likelihood of them falling out. This is thanks to the edge of the buds, acting like a makeshift wingtip, keeping them secure within my ears, without movement. Battery life isn't a sacrifice either. With the case, you can get up to around about 30 hours on a single charge. If ANC is switched off, you can get about 8 hours on a single charge with these buds, putting them on par with my Galaxy Buds FE. However, I do have one issue, and this is how sometimes the battery life can drastically change depending on what you're doing. For example, if I'm on call, I notice that these buds die much faster than expected, requiring me to hot swap my buds to avoid both of them dying on me at the same time. And the buds do fast charge, and I noticed that about 10 minutes of charging can get me around about an hour of usage. I did see somewhere on the internet that you can get around about 10 hours with 10 minutes of charging, but I was like, bullshit. If we take a closer look at the case, you may notice that it has a matte texture, and while this can help prevent the case from sliding around on surfaces, scratches, scuffs and fingerprints will be more visible compared to a typical glossy case. Some can be wiped away, but the majority of the scuffs and marks will be visible, more so if you go outside. You can charge the case in two ways, wired or wirelessly. Wired charging will be more efficient and faster, with an average of 2.5 watts depending on the prior charge state. And if you don't have a cable, wireless charging can come in handy, especially if you're in a situation where you forgot your charger at home. You can do this by enabling power share and placing the case on the back of your phone to top up. However, if your buds are fully dead, then the buds will first charge up to 100% before the case. And if you want to charge the case on its own, then remove the buds, then put the case on charge. But then there's also a better solution. If you have a fast charger plug, you can use that to simultaneously charge your phone and charge the wireless device. So meaning I could charge my phone and my buds at the same time. The case indicates its charge status via LED lights on the front and inside of the case. Red means 20%. Flashing red means below 10%, orange means 50%, and green means 80% or higher. Inside the case, red means charging, green means fully charged. If it flashes, then it either means your buds are too hot or there is a charging issue. This can be fixed by either cleaning the contacts or drying the buds off if they're wet before putting them back into the case. Calls can be demanding for the buds, especially if you have sharpen call quality enabled. This feature allows you to hear the other person's voice more clearly by enhancing the treble and improving the overall clarity. Turning this off can extend the battery life on a single charge. But for me, this comes in handy, especially in crowded areas where noise can impact how well you hear their voice. If we take a closer look at the bud, there will be a proximity sensor, a pressure relief vent, and above that 2 charging contact pins. On the other side, you can see another vent at the top of the bud, which plays a role in ANC. The external mic below is also used for ambient sound. If we was talking about the weight of the buds, I would say they are heavier than the Buds FE and the Buds Live. And some of you may notice this while nodding or shaking your head. If you notice choppy sound effects when shaking your head, this could indicate the pressure relief vent might be blocked with earwax, causing a stuffy feeling within the ear, eventually causing a headache. To fix this, all you'll need is a cold piece of blue tack. This helps remove the earwax without leaving residue, and if it does, then place the blue tack over the vent again to remove the residue. In one of my shorts, I did show that you can also clean the vents with a toothbrush, and while equally effective, it can in a way backfire. If done wrong, you could end up pushing the earwax beyond the mesh into the microphone, creating another blockage. But if you do use this method, be aware that there is a risk that you could cause further blockage within the microphone itself, but I guess that's a last resort for those who don't have blue tack lying around. The Buds 2 Pro are also advertised as water resistant with an IPX7 rating, meaning they could withstand 1 meter of depth for around about 30 minutes, meaning that you would be able to shower with them, wear them in the rain, or have an intensive workout without worrying about water damage. However, I would still err on the side of caution. Just because the manufacturer says that they're waterproof doesn't mean they actually are, and if they do sustain water damage, that's your money gone. When it comes to noise cancelling, it's a mixed bag. If I had to choose between the Buds FE and the Buds 2 Pro for noise cancelling, I would choose the Buds FE. I think it's because the Buds FE's ear tips are more firmer, blocking out most of the highs and mids, creating a more of an impressive overall ANC performance. But then when it comes to the Buds 2 Pro, it feels like a filter has been applied that reduces the lows but maintains the highs around you, meaning that you'll still hear the pedaling of a bike, the typing of a keyboard, or the chatter of a crowd. I did, however, find a solution for those with smaller ears. All you will need to do is swap the ear tips for the bigger ones. When I did that, I noticed an immediate change in the sound profile, with the bass being more intense and prevalent, and the slight loss of the highs. And even with the slight loss of the highs, for me, that gave me a better soundstage and made listening to the Buds 2 Pro more enjoyable. But then again, with the big and medium ear tips, I noticed that after 1 to 2 hours, my ears began to hurt. And to combat that, I switched back down to the smallest ear tips, and that did help with the comfort, but the pain was still there. And on top of that, I discovered that the pain lasted for 1 to 2 days, and it really hurt. When it comes to ambient sound, I'd say it's better than the Buds FE in terms of sounding more realistic and having more depth. And most of the time, I've noticed that the ambient sound on the Buds 2 Pro are quiet, and there is a solution. Under the accessibility feature, you can boost the sound, but this only makes ambient sound worse as everything sounds uncomfortably loud. And you also lose the feature that blocks out sudden loud noises, adding a robotic sound effect to your voice, making your surroundings sound surreal and less realistic. This is a microphone test for your Buds 2 Pro, and this is what it would usually sound like if you was in a moderately quiet room. But then this would be how the microphone would sound outside, with the wind, the cold, the environmental sounds, and all this can combat how well a person can hear your voice, especially if you're on call. So tell me what you think down below in the comments, and I'll be here to share my insights as well. So how is sound quality for the Buds 2 Pro? If I had to describe it in one word, that would be solid, especially when watching movies with them. The sound borders on cinema quality, with the subtle rumbles of the bass and the clear vocals. The sound separation is also insane, making these the best sounding earbuds I've tried. This does depend on the seal you get, however, with the Buds 2 Pro, with the bigger ear tips providing the best seal and the best sound quality, enhancing the bass and sound isolation, while the smaller ear tips were perfect for the highs and mids. However, this also depends on the audio fidelity of the song. If you listen to your music via Spotify, where the audio quality isn't good, you may notice that the audio separation isn't as great, but as soon as you switch to Tidal, I guarantee you will hear the difference. These buds support 24-bit audio, which Samsung refers to hi-fi quality, with Bluetooth version 5.3. If I had to recommend one track that would represent sound quality and the sound separation of these buds, that would be Downhill by Drake and Walk Like This by Flo, with the mids remaining clear and defined, never once sounding overshadowed by the instruments, and the highs were crystal clear without clipping, where the ANC is on and off. This was one of the issues I had with the Buds FE, where the sound quality was poor, sound separation was basically non-existent, and the highs clipped so intensely that it hurt my ears at high volumes that I had to reduce the volume. The 360 audio sometimes doesn't hit the mark. It's best suited for flat stereo music and works well with Spotify and YouTube, but beyond that, I usually switch it off in favour for Dolby Atmos. And with Dolby Atmos, sounds are clear and defined, leaning towards more of a cinematic sound, with bass being prevalent and the vocals and instruments separated. A good example of this is Wish by Disney, creating that atmospheric music experience. For me, the sound is amazing, especially paired with the battery life, making these a must-buy if you're looking for one of the best sounding earbuds of the price. Now, some of you may be wondering, how much do these cost? And in terms of price, this can range from 80 quid or higher, depending on where you look, some going as high to sell it for original retail price. So think about 250, 220, I'm not sure, that's just an estimate. even with the Buds 3 Pro out. But now it begs the question, are the Buds 2 Pro worth it in 2024? In a simple terms, yes. The sound quality is insane, and the battery life is strong enough to get you through a few days on a single charge, well, depending on your usage. For me, that's already a win. The only real downside is the ambient sound and noise cancelling, which, while not deal breakers because you could simply fix that issue with some memory foam ear tips, it could definitely be better in my personal opinion. As an all-rounded package, these are worth the money. And even with the Buds 3 Pro out today, looking like the AirPods, it just makes it a better reason, because I can guarantee you right now, the Buds 3 Pro won't have the same fit as the Buds 2 Pro.
I give you